Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 7th episode of Red Cloud Ranch. In today's video, we are talking everything water. Now, before we get started, I posted on X a little sneak peek of this system in the maintenance room here, in the shed, if you will. And people were like, Nick, Red Cloud, how are you going to survive in the middle of nowhere with a 100-gallon water tank? And that's not going to be comfortable with, what are you going to get, a 2-minute shower with a 20-gallon hot water heater? It's a little bit more complicated than that. That's why I do little sneak previews, but I keep the best stuff for the big videos. All right. So the property can store over 5,000 gallons of water in various water tanks. All right. So being that this property is on a mountain around 6,000 feet in elevation, okay, it's challenging, right? You got to decide if you want to haul water or do you want to drill a well. We're going to get into that in a little bit, but let's start with the journey of the water, okay? So that journey starts at the bottom tank, which is a 2,500 gallon water tank that is plumbed and is pumped uphill about 700 feet in length, and during that 700-foot journey, it changes about 150 foot in elevation. Eventually, it gets to two 1,250 gallon water tanks that are plumbed together, which sits about 25 to 30 feet above the water, this house and a couple acres I have planned for farming and raising animals and all that stuff. But the point is, once the water is pumped up, gravity does all the work once it's at the top two tanks. All right, pause. Let me look at my notes here. It's a pretty extensive video, so let me look at my notes. I got my laptop here too, so I don't miss anything. Let's see, where did I want to go from there? Let's see here. All right. So we got that. So that's the, so 5,000 gallons of storage capacity, right? It's not like I'm just storing 100 gallons. It's not like the homestead just has 100 gallons of water hanging around. So how do I get the water, right? This is a remote location, 6,000 feet in elevation. Well, you have two options. You could haul water. Nearest town's it's 37 miles round trip from here to the city well, which is great water, almost spring water. It's delicious. 37 miles from leaving here, going there, getting water, and coming back. Now, if you didn't want to do that, you could drill a well. Okay, so on average, you know, I ask Grok. I ask Grok a lot of these questions. On average, you know, for a complete well, casing and pump included, it varies on the low end $25 and on the high end $75 per foot. So, I don't know. You know, I'm on a mountain. There's different. I'm sure 6,000 feet up. All these different layers of geographic unknowns. Let's say it's $50 per foot with the casing and pump and everything. Now, by my calculations, that's $300,000. Okay, so I wasn't going to do that, because being a guy that makes like $50,000 a year and kind of like floats big projects with 12 to 24 month promotional 0 interest credit card uh, sign up bonuses kind of thing. That drilling a well was out of the question. Okay. Um, so I haul water. Now it's not all fun and games. This is, like I said, 37 miles round trip, and 20 of those miles are off road with washboards and all kinds of different. Um, it's not ideal conditions. You see broken down vehicles, all trucks, all the time on this road, and the IBC tote water totes are 300 gallons, right? So water being about 8 pounds a gallon, you're looking at like over depending on how you're going to fill it to the brim, or is some going to splash out, but you're talking about over 2,000 gallons of water in the bed of your truck, or you can get a trailer. I don't. It's in my personal opinion. I think the more you add to trying to do a simple task, you're gonna encounter a shit ton of problems. But that being said, yeah, I am Nick Red Cloud, the destroyer of trucks. Okay, so that's just how it is. I haul water to this property. Now, so 5,000 gallons of total storage here at Red Cloud Ranch, 300 gallons per time per trip. It's about 17 trips. Okay, I've done that in 36 hours back in the day, before this house was even here. When I was in the plant growing business, let's say, all totally above board, of course. But that's going to be a massive problem that any homesteader that's super off grid is going to encounter, right? 6,000 feet. Are you not a millionaire? Are you broke? You're not going to be able to hit a well. And if you even spend that $300,000, if I spent that $300,000 to drill a 6,000 foot well, it's a 50-50 chance that I hit water or don't hit water. And if I do hit water, it could have arsenic in it. Could be a whole ton of problems. So I haul water. Okay. So once that water is pumped from the bottom tank to the top tanks, gravity does all the work. The top tanks are about 25 feet higher than than the land I'm planning on using in the next 3 or 4 years. Okay, so gravity does all the work. So once that is done, it's as simple as pumping the water into this thing, the 100-gallon tank that everybody gave me shit for. Okay, it goes from this 100-gallon tank. Okay, and I'll put this stuff in prices, and I'll make it all look good. But it goes from this 100-gallon tank to this jet pump. Then it goes to this pressure pump. Then to water storage or water filtration. Then the hot water heater. Okay, and then it's that simple. I'll post it, and you could look at it a little slower. So that's pretty much the system. Everything's done in PEX. Okay, it's a lot stronger. It's a lot stronger than copper. It's a lot easier to work with. When it comes to freezing pipes, it's a lot stronger. But it does get cold up here. So I do have heat tape, which is just, like essentially a extension cord that it turns on when it drops below 40 degrees. and it gets a little warm. It keeps the pipes from freezing and bursting, which they probably wouldn't either way. In fact, I keep these digital thermometers throughout the house, and the shed stays pretty toasty, even at night, even when it's below 20 degrees. This is getting the south sun, so all the heat that this generates through the day, it kind of keeps that warmth. And I'll show you a picture of kind of like the average of like what temperatures would be at. Like right now it's a little bit past 11 p.m. and so I have temperature gauges here in the shed, one in the house, and one in the attic. So the attic, the joists, that's insulated, that's got insulation in it. But I haven't insulated the rafters yet, so the attic's very cold. But I got everything in this up there. I have everything in this styrofoam or whatever, this foam insulation, which also helps. And all the reviews that I see, it takes pretty cold weather for PEX to burst. PEX A. So there's no like clamps or it's the good stuff, if you will, the cheap good stuff, or the cheap good stuff. All right. I have to rethink and look at my notes. There's probably going to be a strong edit here. I'm going to guarantee it. There's going to be a strong edit here. I'll regather my thoughts, and then we will continue with the video. See? Told you there was going to be a strong edit. So, in the video, I pretty much said everything I had to say. So, a big thing, though, is the next video is going to be all about the solar. We're trying to get this built before the first heavy snow that happens. And this is pretty close to a $10,000 one of the biggest investments for something on the homestead. So it's definitely going to be an exciting episode 8. So thanks for watching. And this last 2.5 minutes is going to be a cool kind of visual of the clouds in the background while I chop a bunch of firewood, but it's in super fast forward. So you get to see a very cool sunset on the homestead. So again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Television, walk through the seasons. I'm passing the trees, open up a cantaloupe and give it to the next man who's struggling and broken. You've been there, and we both know it's hard to pay your bills when your fuel's always low. You're heading out the door, you can make another wish, then you're stuck with the rest at the bottom of the list. And every day I wake up, all I wanna do is play some music. Makes me breathe more. Eating up my glass plate while all these masquerades are falling from the stars. They don't know who we are. Please tell them who's in charge. I know you know to always leave your guard and hope for battle, 'cause nothing nothing really matters when you're stepping off your saddle, looking for another way to make peace. If I ever catch up, I tell them to breathe and be free, right?